I am from a very small town in Oregon called Cannon Beach. So a lot of you will recognize the big rock that's here in town from the movie The Goonies. We're about 45 minutes south of Astoria, where a lot of Goonies was filmed as well. So that's where I'm from. Beautiful area. And I found the patches through Crystal on Instagram. I connected with her and started watching her testimonials that she does on Wednesdays. And I watched her and Gary for weeks and weeks. And I was a little skeptical, but very intrigued. And I have a history of anxiety, depression, just some concerns there. I haven't had the healthiest coping mechanisms, but I've made it through. And I was so intrigued by the patches that when I connected with Gary, we really identified that the anxiety for me was really what I wanted to work on. I didn't really have any physical like pain or anything like that I thought the patches could help with. It was really for me emotional. I really needed that boost. I'm doing vitamins and minerals and all of those things, but I just thought, gosh, if I could find something else to really help me sort of rewire a little bit in addition to all of the other things that I'm doing, how amazing would that be? But I was skeptical. And additionally, my daughter was starting to struggle with anxiety as well. That started during COVID, during the shutdown. That was really tough for her. And she never kind of really fully recovered from it. So we had to pull her out of school when she went back. The anxiety attacks were just really intense. She would call me halfway through the day like, Mom, I just can't be here. It's too much. It's overwhelming. So I thought, she's struggling with this. I'm struggling with this. I want to try this and see if it's going to help at all. So I talked with Gary and we came up with the combination of the X39 and the Eon patch and the Silent Night patch, because I wasn't sleeping because I was so anxious and stressed and all of that. So we started with that combination. My daughter was also starting to have a lot of hormonal acne. Her hormones were extremely imbalanced. She was totally stressed out all the time. So that was really something that she wanted to address too. So that was the combination we started with. I started in October, like the very tail end of October, maybe the third week. And my daughter's acne is completely cleared up. She actually came to me last night and was like, Mom, look at my skin. It's completely clear. Yeah. My anxiety was so bad during the summer that in order to just go out and like go to the grocery store or do like normal errands, I had resorted to having to wear an earbud with some calming music or something just so that I could be out. I'm a little bit empathic, so being out and about is tough for me anyways. And then you add in the anxiety and it was just making it really hard to function. So this is where I get to tell you the fun part. I was pretty skeptical. I was very hopeful. I'm always hopeful, but I'm also a healthy skepticism as well. So I got the patches. I'll never forget. It was a Thursday. I am teaching on Fridays, and this is something that I have never done before. So with that comes a little bit of, anxiousness. Am I doing this well? Is this a good thing for me to do? I don't know. So I started patching on a Thursday. My first class, we had an assembly and it was on the next Friday. So this would be day 2 of me patching. I woke up feeling very anxious about it. We had an assembly. We hadn't really wrapped up planning. I didn't want it to go bad because that would be not a good scenario. I was just feeling a lot of anxiety. So I got out the Eon patch and I put it on. And within a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours, all of the normal anxious feelings in my body that I have were gone. They were just gone. I felt completely calm. I felt like I didn't I didn't even need to like sit down and like write out. Like I was so anxious about this. I was like, okay, we need to like write out everything that we need to finish. Like I need to make a plan for how to make sure this is going to be successful. I didn't even feel the need to do that anymore. I felt so just calm and like, it's going to come together the way it needs to come together. Mm-hmm. It brought me to a completely peaceful place. And that was incredible. And so those patches, I will never stop using these.
And you started them in October?
Yeah. So it's only been a couple of months. Before I was, there's that saying, if you survive, you're not living, you're just surviving. That's kind of how I felt like I was getting through life just fine, but I was just kind of in survival mode, like, okay, I'm going to do what I need to do to get through the tasks today. Yeah. It's a different vibe and mood and ball game now. I don't feel like I'm just eking my way through each day. I mean, I have rough moments, but man, as soon as I put that patch on, the rough moments are a lot easier, which allows me to do the work that ironically originally brought me to Crystal, which was, trying to work on changing the way that I think about things, changing my inner dialogue, working a little bit on manifestation, understanding frequencies, all of that kind of stuff. It's hard to really practice the techniques and the things that you're learning about when you're riddled with anxiety. It makes it hard to do that. So now I feel like I'm actually able to be calm and centered enough to put the things that I'm learning in those areas into practice. And I'm now starting to see them activate in my life, which is amazing.